Hi there. So I've had a few people on LinkedIn ask me how I, with literally zero knowledge of coding, managed to create a simple word game using Python, which works, which you can play online, and which is really kind of a fun thing to do. So I'm just going to take you through the stages really quickly. So the first thing I asked it to do, I'm using GPT-4, by the way, ChatGPT-4, full disclosure. Could work on 3.5, I don't know, but as anyone who knows GPT-4 knows that it's just so much better, more sophisticated than 3.5. But give it a go on 3.5 and it might work. So look, what I asked it to do is this. I asked it to give me 10 original web-based games, word games, for children aged 7 to 10, and it gave me a few ideas, hangman, word search, etc. Not particularly original, but I quite like this one, word ladder. Challenges children to transform one word into another by changing a letter at a time. I thought, well, that's quite nice. I then asked it to gamify it. Got a bit carried away with levels, progression, power-ups, time limits, characters, customization. I thought, well, that's way beyond my first attempt at coding a game with ChatGPT. So I thought, no, let's keep it simple. So let's simplify it. So it did, simplified it a bit. Then I asked it to write the steps. So if you're going to code, you need to code in steps, one stage after another. So I asked it to do that. And then I asked it to rewrite those steps into more simplified language, to rephrase them so that they could be converted into code. And it did that. Load a word list, generate random word pairs, check word transformation on validity, and so on and so forth. So that's what it did. And then I asked it to use Python. I said, I'm going to be coding using Python 3. Can you write the code? And that's what it did. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and so on and so forth. And for each stage, all I did is I copied it into TextEdit. Okay. Now with TextEdit, you need to save the text as a PY file. It automatically defaults to a TXT, a text file. You have to actually change in the settings so it doesn't append with TXT, and then you just end by saying .py at the end. So you create the whole file, including the suffix at the end here. So there it is. Now obviously I didn't do any of this. English teacher. ChatGPT did all of this. Each of the stages 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way down through, and that was it. Now, one of the things it didn't do, one of the things it did, is it just generated like random 4-letter words. That some of them weren't even English words; they were just kind of garbage. And so I asked it to, let me see if I can just find it. Here we are. It makes up words that are not written in the English language. Which section of code needs to be rewritten to ensure that the 4-letter words are recognizable as English words? And so it said, okay, yep, now I understand. I'm going to create the code, but also you're going to need to import 4-letter words into a dictionary. I said, okay, well, just give me 200 4-letter words. It did that. Okay. And then all I did is I created another text file here, TXT file, just 4-letter words. And this then feeds into this. There's code in this one that actually refers to this one. And then all you do, let me just get rid of this one I did before. There we are. Okay, so all I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to open up Terminal. Terminal is the function in the Mac which you can run programs from. First thing I'm going to do is I need to point Terminal towards the folder that the game is in. And it's just like, it's the terminal version of double clicking on the folder to open it up. I just put CD and then it opens. You can see it's gone from Darren's MacBook Air to Darren's MacBook Air word ladder game. So it's inside the word ladder folder. Then all I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to tell it to write in Python 3. And then I'm going to just put the, can't type tonight. And then I'm going to put the file name, which was actually word ladder quest, just to confuse things. And then all it's going to do is download the dictionary, and there you go. There it is. Start word huge, end word fist. How am I going to do this? I'm not going to do it right now because I'll just embarrass myself as an English teacher. But there you go. You're going to change one letter at a time and as few goes as possible to get from huge to fist. So there it is. Decide on the game, decide on the steps. ChatGPT decides on the steps. One step at a time in Python, bit of debugging, use Python 3 command. Bob's your uncle. Enjoy!